while, can you do one really fast before he walks around to check things?
Yeah.
Because like I said, guys, I saw a couple people out in the family room this morning working on finishing up homework. Like, that's great. Using fragments of time to do your homework. I mean, shoot, I never had to ride the bus, but if I did, I'd probably have done homework on the bus because I don't get motion sick. I know some people get motion sick. If you have not picked up 412 and 3, please go do that because we're gonna use both of those together. So keep both of those out. Okay, 412 and 3, keep both those out. Right now, look at your 323. Is it totally done? If not, you're out of time. Sorry, but the beginning of math class is not your time to get your homework done. The end of math class might be. Or the beginning of math class is when you could start the next homework. But I'm going to walk around. And so, again, because my job is to professionally repeat myself, and I am aware of this, you are going to, for just 323 today, right? Just 323. We can check the other ones, but they don't have to be done yet. So on the front, what is not clipped in here correctly? You're not clipped in correctly, right?
That just happened to me. I was just doing that like 5 seconds ago.
Just grr at it and it'll get scared and do what you want it to do.
Yeah,
no, that is not true. All right, so just 323. I don't know why I'm caring to pull out the correct worksheet. So you're currently listening to me as step 1. You're writing a number. Oh yeah, I just hole punched both sides. You're writing a number 0, 1, or 2 on your effort line. That number is also getting written on your practice effort goal form where you put 3, 2, 3. Now, if I done goofed and I only got a 1, and that's okay, be honest with yourself. Remember, this paper's for you. I'm not really going to collect this paper. We're probably going to have a conversation about it, but this paper's for you. Don't lie to yourself. That's just poor character. Have more character than that. If you only got a 1, and now your total is a 5, and I total up my average, I would now have an 83. And if I had set my goal to be 85, I'm not quite there at this point. But if I get a 2 tomorrow, do we think I'll be back above 85? Yeah. So it's all about moving forward and making progress as we go. So here's your answers for 323. I'm going to come around and I should be able to see the number on your paper without having to ask you about it. Right? I should be able to see the number on your paper without needing to ask you. If you get something wrong, try to analyze why you got it wrong. And if you flip to the back, go ahead and write your number on the back too, just to make my life easier as I come around to check. So remember, you didn't have to have all of these done. Only the ones that we had marked and said needed done. And if you didn't get a 2, or if you didn't give yourself a 2, ask what you could do in the future to make sure that you're giving yourself 2s and you're being honest about giving yourself 2s.
And 2 doesn't mean everything correct.
Right, it just means you put in all of the effort needed.
Oh, yeah.
Right, 2 means you answered everything, you tried everything, you put in the effort needed. Who's here? You would say.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't have it on the back of the paper.
Oh, I just did an A. I made the mistake of getting that in the system.
This is not even.
Yeah, you sound like a
Alright, I'm gonna circle it out. I got all me yesterday. That didn't even work apparently. Are you in here when I was yelled at everyone? So I came back from the bathroom, we were not doing what we were supposed to be doing, and I got frustrated.
Guys, remember a 1 means you're between halfway and all the way done. A 1 means you're between halfway and all the way done. Now, we talked about this yesterday, but when are these getting turned in? Friday. So they should be done, need to be done by Friday to be on time to go into math. But if they're not done, you probably shouldn't turn them in.
I wouldn't use a Sharpie of homework paper because they bleed through like crazy.
Sure, hop up and do it. You guys know how to work the screen, right? So yeah, Bradley, like, ask the class, is everyone good?
Is everyone good? Yeah, probably.
We'll take questions in a second when I get back up there.
Oh wait, I forgot to put it into a
Adele.
Did I simplify?
Called Adele Violet earlier just about her. She had her Chromebook on her head, and I was thinking it was a bad decision. Not that you make bad decisions, but just I was trying to make
96.
So she'd be like, I'm Adele.
Right.
And be like, yeah, well, why does Adele have her
You
computer
had
on
an
her
N,
head?
not an A.
No, up there it says due today.
I think I
You
probably
said
got that.
returning
No, I got that one wrong.
in on Friday.
All right, what? You cannot turn it in today. You cannot. And I have a lot of papers to pass back that I need to remember to do once we get into the lesson. Any questions that you got wrong and do not make sense. Like, you cannot find your mistake. You're like, I think the book might be wrong.
Wait, I just have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
98A, what would its improper fraction be?
98, 27, 27ths, if I can say it correctly.
Did it yes. Is it instead? I thought it was.
Is it what?
I thought it was corrected as unsimplified.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, does it say you have to simplify back into a mixed number?
No, I got 80 over 28. So did I know.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, so you're saying you didn't reduce, which is another way to say simplify, but yeah, I mean, we don't have to reduce unless it says that we have to reduce. Other questions about forms of answers or anything like that? Let's go.
Okay, I have a question for you. Like, how did they get 96?
Zach, you could be doing your assignment right now. Don't copy answers, but you could be working on it. Guys, if you have anything but a 2, you could be working on doing this now. If you are in a classroom, you should be using your time productively. At least my room, I can't really speak for other teachers, I don't have enough time. And quite frankly, you guys don't either because you can't finish your practice in class. If we had longer class, you'd probably have more time for practice. But what you shouldn't be doing is having side conversations. Sorry, Ren, what was your question about which one?
I just didn't use it 96. Like, I got 27, but I didn't.
So 96 is one of those we have to read it and then turn it into math. Hey, if you're humming or singing, stop. Be better. Length is tells us L equals. Right, so that's the first thing I write down before I think about anything else. And then 3 centimeters more than, well, more than what, right? That's like a partial amount of information. Well, more than twice the width. So that's where our twice the width comes from. Our 3 extra comes from. And then, if it's the perimeter of a rectangle, we know we have 2 widths and 2 lengths. But instead of writing length, I'm going to write what I know the length is based off what I got told. Does that make sense now, Rin? So I'll zoom in a bit more. So width of 12, length of 27. Other questions we can't figure out? All right, if you had a 0 or a 1, make a reminder to yourself that tomorrow, what are we checking tomorrow? 3, 2, 4, and 5. Right? Tomorrow we're checking 3, 2, 4, and 5. It's on the board. It's been there all week, guys. Like, not a surprise, right? This is why we got into these habits over the past 2 months. And now I'm asking you to step up and take a little bit more ownership. So I did not connect my lines. You guys don't necessarily need to know what to call this. If you want to know the fancy name for it, anyone like talk to a brother or sister or mom or dad, like they told you what this is?
A parabola?
It's a parabola, spelled parabola. So this is a parabola. You will learn about these in high school math 2, the class that I teach to those 8th graders. Yes, Lucy.
I said that it looks like an A.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, you don't have to have any specific word here. Yeah.
I accidentally did it backwards, and instead I would take the top x squared and then subtract 4 from it.
So,
Because I got my dad to help me. I asked my dad if he could help me with this, like, because I was confused, and he was like,
so as long as you know what your mistake was,
Yeah.
like, that's okay, but I would still fix it. Like, I would still fix it here and fix it here, because if this problem comes around on a test, right, and guys, that's one of the other things about when you're picking, like when you're choosing, do I do A or B on tonight's homework? Well, if you choose the easier looking one, know that this would probably be the one that would end up on a test, right? So, I mean, kind of think strategically about what you're choosing. Is that a hand, Adele, or no? Okay, what's up, Adele? What do you mean? Because the numbers they gave us were only the x values. We had to calculate the y values. I mean, it does kind of look like a triangle. Like if I ignore the bend right there. Yeah, so you only went to here and to here. Yeah, so it could. Although we don't have the bottom. So, I mean, you could kind of say it looks like a V. I don't know that I would say triangle because it doesn't connect. And if we made it a triangle, then technically it's not a function, which we'll learn about what all that means. But you're fine. If you said it looks like a triangle, like that's fine. But if we kept going and did -4 and +4, we would get these really far out points. Or no, that's -3 and +3. Yeah, those should be there. So yeah, at that point, we kind of do start to see it curve a bit. All right, do not turn that in. You need out both 412 and 413. You don't need out 323, so go ahead and put that away. All right, I want you to listen to these directions so that I can leave you alone for like 10 or 15 minutes. Right? And if you get done what you're supposed to get done, what can you then do? Work on homework. So, here's your directions. These are the next questions. Question 12, question 13, question 14. First things first, I goofed. Right here, down in tile pattern 4, we all need to go ahead and put that top tile that I accidentally sliced off when I was taking pictures or like snapshots on my computer. The top of it does not disappear as you move forward. It stays there. Kids last year were like, oh, we thought you were just messing with us. I'm like, I don't do that. I don't like, when I'm trying to teach you, I don't mess with you. Like outside of math class, you know, I might have a little bit of fun and. All right, so then 413. Your pages aren't stapled. That's on purpose. This table you are welcome to use as you look at tile pattern 1. But be careful. Do we have figure 0?
no.
No. So if you're going to start filling in this table, you need to start filling in at 1. But could you figure out what figure 0 is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could also just start by doing that and then fill in the table. Do you have figure 4? Could you figure out what it is? Could you figure out what it is?
Yeah.
Could you then fill in the table?
Yes.
Yeah. And then out here in the space to the right of those tables, we're going to try to create a rule when we call the figure number X and the amount of tiles Y. So our end goal is to be able to say Y equals something. And if we can't get to that, that's okay because we're still practicing. But we've looked at a few of these. Your main task is figure out what figure 1 and 4 would look like. Then we're going to fill in the table. Or yeah, 0 and 4, thank you, Val. 0 and 4. Then we'll fill in the table, and then we'll make it into an equation. Any questions on what you're doing? Fantastic. I'm giving you at least 5 minutes, probably more. So here are some questions that could help push you in the right direction if you need. Yeah, absolutely. Now is a perfect time. So yeah, if you've been holding it, just waiting for directions to stop, now would be a good time to use the restroom and then come back and dive into the activity. Make sure we sign out. It just keeps us all a bit more honest. Well, if those 3 points have shown consistency, then yes. If they've already shown non-consistent, then you know, oh, this is non-consistent. This is not 3A, this is 3B. These people are in 3B class. I must have gotten my folders mixed up. These people are, I don't know what happened. You guys can talk with your partners and confer with each other then. You're allowed to work together. I didn't even. You're not even just allowed, you're encouraged. It won't take long. Just come see me. Add extensions today and it'll be done. Who? Hayden. If you have not turned in revisions to the mastery yet, you might want to do that at some point to get that grade to change to a mastery. Now I think all these people are 3B. That you don't know what to do with that yet. So on 413, the graph space, just do nothing with it yet. Do nothing with the graph space yet. You're filling in the table, you're trying to draw out figures 0 and 4. Do nothing else with that graph space. Just trying to make sure that I didn't get these mixed up. Guys, maybe I already turned a lot of yours back to you, but I feel like 3B has turned in a lot more test revisions than you guys have. So, just a reminder: turn in your test revisions. You can use highlighters to kind of visualize what's being added or what is changing. Color coding is great on these things. Well, luckily, gold is your teacher today. Well, who do you go to after this? You should use them both.
If you went to the wrong place today, it's fine. Go to whatever class you're going to.
Yes, we did.
Lauren was science yesterday. Right today, she was connections. So she's going to be popping
We both
around.
had.
What class do you go to after this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are both on Gafford. Seminary Gafford or Seminary West. So you're using a handbook like a checklist, right? So like, if this is assigned for today, you should try to get it done next time, not just use the 2 days, so it's due 2 days from now.
No, don't. Don't say it. I don't want it to get
Looks like a lot of our figure zeros are the same on that first one, so I might copy up here what most of you have for your figure zero.
Actually, I might just do it on my paper because I didn't leave. I made our worksheets nicer than what is up here, honestly. So guys, again, you are welcome to pass, but would you like to talk to us about what you noticed, Isaac, on tile pattern 1? And you're welcome to come up, or if you want me to show your paper, if you did in color coding, or you can just talk.
I noticed that it added 2 to like the middle part. So it added 2 like on the right, and then it added 1 like diagonally.
So if we tried to color code this, Isaac said he visualized it by adding 2 like on the right, which makes sense because we had 4 in the middle. We got 2 new ones. And then this was new and this was new. So to go backwards to figure 0, how'd you make figure 0 look?
I just took away the 2, and actually no, I took away 4, and it's just 2.
Yeah, so moving backwards, Isaac is saying so the diagonals get removed, but from this one, these diagonals are going to get removed. 2 of the middle are going to get removed, and most of you have it drawn just as 2 blocks stacked, or 2 tiles stacked. So then make sure that you've also drawn figure 4, which I think will also get 2 bigger in the middle, and 2 bigger from each diagonal. So guys, I'm actually going to start at the edge of the paper. How many should be in the diagonal? 4. How many should be across the middle? 10, or like 5 across but 2 tall, right? So then your table should be the next thing you filled in. So tiles in figure 0. Tiles in figure 1. All right, keep rolling. Even if you don't yet recognize how to write it as an equation, the more you play with these, the more it will make sense. Man, time flies. We have less than 15 minutes left.
What?
I know.
We haven't done anything.
We haven't done anything. Gosh, we
Other than
don't do anything in math class ever.
Good.
Whoa, don't say that.
Whoa. We're not doing anything.
Unless you're gonna like fire me out of a cannon, which I mean I'll do that.
Thanks for giving me ideas. Nicholas, you might want to take that back.
Did anybody recognize the pattern that is existing like relating to the figure number being X and the tile number being Y, Noah?
Which one?
For the first one. We haven't done anything but the first. According to Soap, we haven't done anything. But we've only done the first one so far.
Okay, well, if you see, it's adding 4 every single time.
Oh! So I could have either, like, written over here, like, +4, or nicely on the table, we could show +4, +4. All right, sweet.
So then I just, like, did some thinking in my head.
That's where I like to do my thinking, too.
I like to do my thinking in my kidneys.
Thank you.
Sometimes in my stomach, right? Like, all right, Noah, go ahead. Hey, bring it back. I don't care where you do your thinking. You don't have to tell your neighbor right now. Noah, what did your thinking get you to?
Well, I realized that, like, my head told me that 3 times 4 is 12. But, like, I was trying to figure out, like, well, can any of these be, like, can 3 times something equals 14?
Where'd your 3 come from?
Figure 3.
Oh, okay, but the figure number's gonna keep changing, right?
I know, but, like, this is
Keep talking. Maybe I should just shut up. Keep talking.
4x plus 2.
All right, so Noah thinks.
He's writing it over and marking it as right.
Well, I have, Post-its that I can put over things. Noah thinks 4x plus 2, and I'm going to color code each of these, so that's why I'm really working it in a single color right now. So that is Noah's hypothesis. Now, I bet there's other ways that we can write this, like from yesterday. So, hey, stick with me here for a moment. Did anybody else notice that the figure number is also the same as... Well, okay, yes, I already told you that. In this pattern, like, where do we see 2? Where do we see 3? Where do we see... So, because you think we've done nothing.
In the diagonal.
So the how many of those do we have? What? 2 diagonals, right? So we have 2 x's from the diagonals. So I'm going to say, okay, so 2 x's, and what's the middle section? No, but guys, quit looking at the one I'm pointing at. X plus 1 times 2. Hey, Sam and Caden, you look super off task. I feel really disrespected right now. X plus 1 times 2, which, what if we distribute... What's 2 times x? What's 2 times 1? Does that get us the same thing that Noah had? Oh. Keep going. 5 more minutes on your own.
Wait, that did it?
Yeah, that's it. That is it. I wrote it in pen, man.
That's
That's not always. That's not always.
context clues.
It's so bad.
Now that I'm not talking, trying to teach the whole class, I don't mind it. While I'm trying to lead like a whole group conversation, straight up, it's distracting. I can't focus when somebody else is talking. I like the highlighting.
Mr. Hudson.
Miss Goins.
Oh.
Goins. Goins.
Good. Will you give me candy if I can make you mad?
I don't want to be mad. I kind of try to keep
Can
my
I
blood
try?
pressure down, actually, because I have an issue with high blood pressure, so I don't really want to be
Can I
mad.
try?
No.
Pi equals exactly 3.14.
Well, you're just wrong. I don't get mad at other people being wrong. I get kind of like sad for them.
That would make you mad.
It seems like we've had enough time, so we're gonna pull it back together. Sam, can you talk to me about what you noticed with tile pattern 2, also known as problem 13? Do you just want to bring your page, or does your page not have it drawn?
You looked at it.
Well, I did. Well, I don't know. I look at everyone's papers as I walk around.
Okay.
Wow, Sophie's really out to get me today. Holy cow. All right, here's Sam's paper. Tile pattern 2. All right, talk. Hey, Sam is in charge. Give him more respect than you give me.
So, tile 1, I saw in the pattern here, I colored in the ones that were added. It adds 1 on every side. And then it adds 2 on every side.
Oh, so you keep comparing back to the original one that we were given. I see what you're doing. Sweet. So were you able to figure out, so you filled in your, oh, you didn't bring up your table page. So help us, no, you're fine. Help us fill in the table. So you can just go back to your desk and all of us. So you had just 1 here, because I need to copy what you had. You had some shading. Now, guys, I will say my strategy, and it doesn't have to be your strategy, but I like showing what's new each level. So, like, Sam shaded what's new compared to the original. I'm just shading what's new for each level. But Sam, if we fill this in, how many tiles in figure 0? 1. How many tiles in figure 5? Gosh darn brain. I'm thinking in my stomach right now. That's why my brain's not. How many tiles in figure 2? 9. In figure 3?
13.
Figure 4?
17.
What's your y equals? Every time we're adding 4 tiles. Guys, where could we say that the 1 comes from? It's the same place that the 2 came from. Bradley? The figure 0. Right? Figure 0 is telling us the constant amount. Do we need more time for 3, or are we good?
I did 4.
Was that a random card? Or did you call me?
That was a random card. That's just life being life sometimes. Nick, you got any thoughts about tile pattern 3? Yeah, this weird, this one's a funky one.
Yeah, so the first thing I wanted to do was try and find figure 0 because I figured that would help that would help a lot for like finding
Yeah.
what new things would be.
So hold on, question. Since Nick is saying his goal is find figure 0, can I find figure 0 if I only have figure 1? No, because I know nothing. That's like a single data point, right? So a single data point is not enough. So Nick's going to at least need to look at this figure as well. Keep talking.
So if I look at figure 2 and 3, I notice that each time at the very right, they add an extra row.
Column, but yes, it's not whatever.
They add an extra column of of 3.
Okay, and
So they also add to the left. They make the column there 1 tile higher. So each time they're adding 4 tiles.
CPM. We're adding 4 again.
Yeah.
Add 4. Add.
And then we just take and we count the amount of tiles.
So wait, hold on. Nick's going to walk us through how we get to figure 0, which I think some of us might still be struggling with. So, Nick, how'd you get from figure 1 back to 0?
So I counted the amount of tiles in figure 1 and it was 7 tiles then.
So mathematically, Nick could do that just from the table, right? But visually, can you walk us through that? take away. Now we're going to work backwards. Take away the column.
And take away the extra piece.
Take away the extra little nubbin.
And you just get a horizontal line.
And ooh, he said the J word. And we get a horizontal 3 tile.
Wait, what's the J word?
Just, because it also sounds like the E word. Because when people say, oh, you just have to, it kind of sounds like the E word.
It makes sense in this scenario because it's
It's kind of like if the E word's like a bad word, then like the J word would be like CR.
Yeah, it's like, kind of like crap compared to, yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a potty word. Yeah, it's a potty word, not a bad word.
Do we have this one done? Yeah, we got some hands up. All right, sorry, I got to stick with my card. Adele, do you want to talk to us about this one?
Oh, yeah. That's how we're doing
Hey, bring it back together. We're almost out of time.
So with the little cross and you go to figure 2, there's like one tile added in each corner and it keeps going down.
Oh, so it's like adding stilts, right? In a way, like, or like our robot is, guys, I have a weird imagination. This immediately turns into a robot that is getting taller that we're adding feet onto. So, so our last one, sorry, I forgot to draw the figure 4s out here, but our last one, I'm going to bump the head of the robot down a tiny bit just so I can draw the whole thing. So I got the head, the body. I need one more like body section, right? And then what else do I need? 2 leg tiles on each side.
He's a snowman. You're so good.
Wow, yes, I'm so good at drawing squares. What would figure 0 look like? Ooh, Adele, back to you. Do you know what figure 0 would look like? A 3-tile vertical, she says, because if those legs were actually these pieces, like that initially like popped out and then started growing down, these get removed, right? So like we did going backwards, we're going to remove those and we get left with just the 3 vertical. We fill in our tile. 3. Wait. How many tiles were in figure 1? 5. Okay, I was about to just like copy these down. I thought CPM was going to keep doing the same thing. How many here? 7.
11.
So hold up. What is the y equals here? We'll go somebody else then. Leah, you got the y equals here? That is totally fine. You want to process through it with me, or do you want to skip you? I promise I can get you there. So how much does it go up each time? Guys, everybody should be writing this down because this was our goal of the lesson. We're going up 2 every time. This is what ends up being our coefficient. What, Leah, did we start at with figure 0, quote unquote? 3. And this is always our constant amount. That is all we have for today.
Wait, did we ever
Oh my gosh, we didn't do any.
figure 5 3?
We could. What would this be? What would 3 be?
4x plus 3.
4x plus 3. All right. Have a wonderful day, friends. Yes.